Hi guys, good morning, Paul here. I want to talk to you about the most important photography tip that any beginner, newbie, somebody getting into photography needs to know. Cue intro. Haven't got around to that yet, come back to it. Anyway, hi. What is the most important photography tip you can imagine? It's not about your camera, it's not about you the photographer, it's not about any kind of gear you have, it's about the one thing that you need to take photographs with. Light. That big round yellow thing in the sky provides all the light we need. We can't take photographs without it. Yes, of course, you can use artificial light, you know, LEDs and strobes and flashes and all that kind of thing. But before you get onto that, you really need to understand and appreciate and love light, because without it, you can't take photographs. It is completely pointless even trying to consider taking photographs without light. I mean, yes, you can use your low light, but it's still got that word light in there. You need to love, appreciate, worship. Worship is probably a bit too strong, but you need to understand light, because light changes all the time. I'm sure you've heard of, you know, like the golden hour and, you know, harsh light at midday and all that kind of thing. But it's more than that. It really, really is more than that. Now, you get all these tips about using Vaseline and tights, or pantyhose, my American friends call them, screwing holes into the front of lens covers and all kinds of crazy things, but they're all pointless. Unless you get to grips with light, you're never ever going to progress as a photographer. You've heard of the exposure, is that a triangle? Well, there you go, exposure triangle. We'll come back onto that later. And stay with me and I'll give you a little bonus tip at the end of this as well. Okay, but first, a public service warning. Do not stare directly at the sunlight, because you will fry your eyeballs. Now, I shouldn't have to say this, but we're talking about light. Light comes from the sun. The sun is a humongous, powerful, monster light source. And whatever you do, please do not ever look directly into the sunlight, because it will hurt your eyes and fry your brains, okay? That's why you get all those warnings when you get the eclipses and all that kind of thing. Don't use binoculars. Never, ever, ever point your camera directly at the sun, then look through it, because you will screw up your eyesight, literally, okay? Now, once that's out of the way, rather, what am I talking about? Light changes from second to second. I live in the UK, and this morning it's a beautiful day, and so I'm really sort of grateful for that. But generally in the UK, the weather is murky, cloudy, and the light changes all the time. What I would like you to do is start taking the time to look at light. No, not look at the sun, but actually look at light. Now, I know you're going to say, Paul, I don't have time to do this. You know, I'm a busy person. I've got kids, I've got a job, I've got everything. I know, but there are times when you can actually do this for me, or for yourself rather. Do you have kids? Do you do the school run? Do you drop your kids off in the morning, pick them up at night? Okay, when you pick your kids up in the afternoon after school, you're going to be there a few minutes before they arrive. Take a look around, look at the shadows. Are there those really, really deep, intense shadows that really sort of sharp outline, or are those really faint, almost ghostly kind of shadows that you see are just about to disappear? Yeah, that's due to the light. Are people wearing sunglasses? Look at people's faces. Now guys, remember the 3-second warning. 3 seconds, fine. Any more than that and you're staring and you might get arrested. But just look around, glance at people. Do people's faces have shapes? Do they have shade on one side or the other? Do they have the big bags under the eyes because the sun's right above them and shining straight down? And because we've got the forehead sticking out a little bit, creates those really deep bags. I mean, I've got mine anyway, whether regardless of whatever the shade is, yeah. But a lot of people, you look at them, especially on YouTube, you look at people on YouTube, you'll see that most people, especially the gurus and the professionals on YouTube, they have their lighting sets so that when you look at them, their faces look sort of free of wrinkles and all smooth and glowing and beautiful. That's because they've got probably a nice big ring light. The way to tell is the next time you watch a YouTube video, look at the person's eyes And can you see a ring of light either at sort of 10 to 10 or going all the way around the pupil? That's because the YouTuber has a big light set behind the camera looking directly at them, and that's what creates catch lights. I haven't got that. I'm using natural. I've got this big bay window here and the sun is streaming through. You might see a bit of shade on this side, but I've got no sort of artificial light behind the camera here. So take the time to look at light. It will really, really help you when you're taking photographs, because you know you might have set your camera to I don't know, sunny and really, really bright, and the big cloud comes over and that will mess up your settings. So you need to understand the importance of light. Without light we can't shoot. But on the other side of things, there are different times of the day when you can get really, really different, I can say sensations is not the right word I'm looking for, atmosphere. You can create a different atmosphere, stick one person in one location outside and shoot them at different times of the day, and you can create a whole range of different atmospheres. In the morning as the sun comes up, you have the beautiful golden yellows and the sun rising. The light is really soft and then gets harsher and harsher, or stronger and stronger. At the other end of the day, as the sun's going down, you get all those oranges and vivid blues and purples, and you start off with really sort of harsh colors, and then they get softer and softer and softer, and then close to where the sun is, they're probably really, really vivid and vibrant. And then as the sun goes down, you get the ultimate sort of soft light, and that's what's called the golden hour. You know, half an hour before sunset and half an hour after, and the same sunrise in the morning. And then during the day, if you live somewhere that's permanent sunshine, you see that the light is really, really harsh. So you have to go and shoot under a tree, because anything that's white, if you usually like shooting a wedding or somebody that's wearing a white t-shirt, that kind of thing, yeah, you're gonna get these really, really harsh reflections. So you've got to shoot in the shade. Let's recap. Light is important. It's critical for photography, and there are different kinds of light. I'm talking natural light, remember? So when you can, check out the light, the way it changes, how the vibrancy changes, how the harshness changes, all of that kind of thing. So take the time to do that, yeah? It will really, really, really help you. Now, that bonus tip I was talking about, if you're in auto mode on your camera and you're looking to progress and sort of escape from auto mode, lots of people will say, no, just go straight to manual and figure out the settings, all the rest of it. And you try that and you get frustrated because it doesn't seem to work out. That was that exposure triangle thing I was talking about earlier on. Well, there is an easier way. Look for the P mode, yeah? The letter P for Paul. Look for that mode, because what happens there is the camera will give you a range of settings where it matches the aperture and the shutter speed. And you can flick through them and find a setting that suits what you're trying to shoot. Do that for a while, note down the settings that the camera chooses for you. And once you've done that for a while, you can then progress to aperture priority or shutter speed priority, or actually go into full manual mode. But you don't have to. There's no need. There's no law. There's no compunction. You will not be removed from the world of photography if you spend the rest of your life shooting in auto or in P mode. Yeah, it's just one of these things that's been built up, this kind of mystique that you're not a photographer if you don't shoot in manual mode. It's not true. Yeah, ask any professional sports photographer what mode he or she shoots in, and I guarantee you they'll probably always say to you they shoot in aperture priority mode. Try the P mode, it works and it will help you progress. That's it for today. Listen, can you do me a favor? I'm new at this, okay? So I really need some help with some new subscribers, some shares, some thumbs up. Most of all, I want your comments. How can I improve what I'm doing, yeah? What are some different ways of doing? Do you like what I do? Do you like this sort of style of video? Yeah, do you want me to talk less, talk more outdoor kind of stuff? Let me know. Please give me some feedback. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.